Welcome into the Russ Show, the number one rated pregame intermission postgame show on the side of the Mississippi, south of the Arctic Circle, north of the equator, west of the Atlantic Ocean. Why am I so hyped? Why am I on fire tonight? Because the Calgary Flames are in town. Joel Farabee and Morgan Frost are back in town. But that's not why we're excited tonight. Nay, we are excited because, well, apparently the basketball team is also playing tonight, which means pregame tonight. We got Bundy. Bundy
right.
On the pregame where he belongs here on the Press Row Show. And I've been told, Bundy, that you brought your 3 keys to the game along, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the show.
I brought them with me tonight because I did not realize about the Sixers conflict until after I'd done them, so I'm not going to put them to waste. It took me some research, and you're going to get the 3 keys to the game tonight that I usually put out on 97.5. You get it right here tonight on the Press Row Show.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Great stuff.
And Russ, I got to tell you, you are a really good actor.
Thank you.
Like, really good.
Thank you.
Because to make pretend that you have that energy that you just had for the open of this show, when 30 seconds beforehand your rear end was dragging around here, like, that's pretty impressive. I gotta tell you.
We have a job to do here. We have a job to What are you people looking at? It's a back-to-back night here in the Xfinity Mobile Arena. You know, we were 2 minutes late because we were waiting, and I gave people the heads up. I know that the other night people were like, oh, the potato cam made a return. We actually had somebody from the tech side in the arena come up here because we were like, we want to ensure there's no potato cam tonight. We're hardwired in as we typically are. And then right as we were about to hit to go live, the potato cam reemerged. And we said, uh-oh. And then we waited a little bit. The potato cam cleared up, but I do want you to know that if it does happen tonight, we don't blame anybody. We certainly don't blame intern Andrew, a lovely fellow who I've been told is equipped tonight with both the stat of the night and some damn good trivia. So get yourselves hyped up. Back-to-back nights. This caps off, guys, a wild week in the Snow the Goalie of it all. Right?
I don't think we ever had a week where we had 5 shows.
Dude, we did last Sunday, right? Did we do was it last Sunday or last Saturday?
Saturday
okay.
afternoon.
So it was Tuesday, which I wasn't here for, but it was Tuesday, Snow the Goalie Radio Wednesday, down here Thursday. We got to Trick or Treat Friday, and then back-to-back Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, five shows in
5
7
shows
days.
in 7 days. We've never done that before. So this is a historic Press Row Show.
You realize that there's a weekend, I think December, where it's 4 home games.
Yeah.
Plus a Snow the Goalie Radio.
And there's a chance you don't have me for 2 of those games.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Because of the baseball winter meetings, but we'll see. Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what Dave Dombrowski does to the Phillies this year. It's getting so exciting. All right, now, let's get into the thick of it all, gents.
Big news tonight.
There is some big news.
Yeah.
Sean Couturier is apparently back. That's good news.
That's the good news.
Let's lead with the good news to take some of the pain out of the news
Couturier,
that's about to happen.
Sean Couturier back in the lineup tonight. So that's a good thing that undisclosed injury is healed up enough for him to play. So that's good.
And there's another bit of good news. Tanev was released from the hospital.
Yes.
That was the best news that we've gotten in the last about 24 hours or so.
Yes.
So
sure.
he's been released from the hospital, which is great. I don't know when any kind of further updates are going to come out about his availability and everything, but obviously...
the fact that, look, when you have a concussion, they don't want you to fly.
Yeah.
The fact that they let him get on a plane to fly home lets you know that it's probably better than maybe it looked, which is good.
It was a scary sight last night, the stretcher on the ice, the works. It was a really scary thing.
Did he fly home with the team, Ant?
I don't know if he... No,
he got released
today.
Okay.
Yeah, he got released this morning. But the bad news is no Tyson Forster, and they're going to be missing him for a few games. Forster, as you guys saw last night on the first Toronto goal, took a slap shot off his foot.
Yep.
Stayed in the game. He went down the tunnel, but he came back pretty quick. Stayed in the game, played the whole rest of the game, scored a goal. Figured, okay, fine. Got through it. But once they took the boot off, that thing swelled up like a watermelon. I've talked to a number of people today about this. they are, the imaging can't really see anything yet, Bundy, because it's too swollen.
Right.
So they need to let the swelling go down before they have a determination of if the injury's worse than it is. They don't know. They won't know for a few days at least until the swelling goes down. But he's probably going to miss at least a week, if not 2. But we'll see. Will they put him on IR is the question. I tend to think they will. Not yet. I don't know if they're going to wait for the swelling, kind of see. They might put him on it right away after the game today, which knocks him out for the rest of the week. Having an extra couple days off at the beginning of next week, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you wait till tomorrow to put him on, he's still missing the same number of games.
Right.
It doesn't matter because after Saturday, they don't play until Wednesday next week. So they have 3 days off at the beginning of next week. So you could technically wait a couple days before you put him on IR.
How many games do you have to miss, or how much time?
7 days.
How many? 7.
7 days.
Yeah.
Minimum 7 days, right?
Yeah.
So like they can wait up until like Tuesday, really, if they wanted to, before they decide to put him on IR. And if they do, then that would allow them to recall somebody from the AHL. They have an extra forward here because Gaucher is here, came up to play yesterday.
Yep.
So I would think that if they recall somebody, having the extra forward and also having Delorier, who's out of the lineup, they may once again recall Emil Andre. So they would have an 8th defenseman and have him up here to be available to play as of Tuesday. So there's some things that are happening with that. Everybody hopes that it's not a fracture, but they won't know until they're able to get really better imaging to look at it later this week. So that's the news. Now, Bundy, I asked you about this off air. If you could tell fans what it's like when you get hit with that shot, but are able to stay in the game, and then what it's like immediately when you take that boot off.
Feels like a stinger when you get shot like that. When you take a shot off the ankle like that, and what happens is because your foot's so compressed in the skate, it doesn't allow for any swelling. So you can actually many times guys just continue to play. Feels like you just got like a real hard shot off the foot, but it doesn't hurt as much when you get going. Problem is when you get back to the locker room after the game and you get that thing out of the skate, which is really hard to begin with, then it just balloons right up. Right. And that's where the swelling takes place afterwards. So I always say if you get a shot in the foot, don't take your skate off during the game. Right. Because you'll never get it back on.
Right. So there you go.
I like this from Ryan. Lachenko had a goal and an assist for Guelph today. Was the first star, had 6 shots. Good. That's actually a very encouraging sign.
Yeah.
We'll take a little bit of positivity from Guelph.
Yeah. So just
because the man's a co-captain now.
Yes, he is.
Got to shoot that puck.
Co-captain of the Guelph Storm. So anyway, people might be wondering who's going to, that Forster's on their best line with Noah Cates and Bobby Brink. They're going to put Owen Tippett on that line.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that, Bundy? Putting Tippett on that line with those guys?
Be able to, well, I mean, it's not ideal, but at the same time, like he's a good shot like Forster.
Yeah.
He skates well. Forster skates well. So, I mean, it's kind of a complementary type of position. It doesn't, you're not really upsetting the apple cart too much putting Tippett in that slot for a few games.
Do you think it allows him to be a little bit more of I don't want to say this the wrong way, but a little bit more of a freelancer?
Tippett?
Yeah.
A little bit,
because those other 2 guys are responsible defensively?
They are, especially Noah Cates.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does allow him to, to go a little bit more offensively, but I think it's a unique opportunity because those guys are playing well, too, and I'm looking forward to seeing that line tonight to see what it does.
Yeah, so am I, actually. So yeah, so that's the news there. Kolosov in net. I know that was a debate at the end of the game last night.
Listen, there are 2 people in the building who are really looking at tonight's game from the press box and are very invested in tonight.
Yeah.
Kevin Kurtz for Alexei Kolosov, Bill Meltzer for the return of Morgan Frost.
So before I knew Bundy was going to be available to us pregame, I was looking for somebody to come on as a guest, and I went over to ask Kurz because it had been a while since we had him on, and Kurz was not available, wouldn't have been available anyway because he had something else he had to do. And I said, "Oh, damn! I wanted to get you on because Kolosov's starting tonight." You know what he did? He said, "F you." So yeah, and then of course Meltzer, of course, with Beezer and Frosty coming back.
Yep.
Those 2 gentlemen.
I did actually have a chance to catch up with Bill a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how, obviously Frost was played on the wing a bit this year, but he's kind of slotted back in at center. And I was like, well, I guess in theory, like, it's good to see Frost play the position that, the Flyers essentially tried to develop him to be, and he's really not a wing. And Bill kind of had that little twinkle in his eye. He's proud. He's glad to see Frost back at center,
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
I'll do this for both of you.
Yeah.
But I think for you it's probably a little bit more pertinent. Who is the player that you have covered or the player that you have thought really highly of that you have just like gone to war debating over the value of that player, and you are just like you're the Meltzer of that player, where it's like you will like go down until the day that guy retires believing that guy is still something?
You know the answer to this.
Do I?
Of course you do. Like, you're talking about current, right? Not somebody who's no longer playing, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Aaron Nola.
No, I mean in hockey.
Oh. I don't know if I have one in hockey.
Okay. But yeah, Aaron Nola for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one.
Okay. I don't have a hockey player either. I don't really
like, no, because the reason, and so the comparison, and the reason I'll bring up Nola here, and the comparison is that Nola takes a beating on social media from the fans.
Yes.
Right? And I sit there and argue back that you don't credit him for what he does really well. And he is a very good pitcher and has been for a long time. So like that's the argument where I end up defending the guy because I think that fans are too hard on him. And I think there's been other players in this city who've had very similar situations where the fans are especially hard on them unnecessarily.
Right.
So who do you think that guy is on the Flyers? Who the fans are unnecessarily hard on?
I think it's Couturier.
It might be.
I've actually caught myself this year defending Couturier a lot because of how well he's played to start the season. And like we were talking about last night, this idea out there that, the Flyers play faster without Sean Couturier, and people are trying to equate faster with better. And it's like, well, no, they're not. Like, they're fundamentally not a better team with Sean Couturier out of the lineup versus him in.
I think Couturier gets it a little bit.
And I think there's a certain, that old adage about, like, it's really hard to follow a legend. You know that idea in life?
Yeah.
There are so many people who hold Claude Giroux in like such a high regard as fans, where they're like, this guy didn't have the help, this guy's a Hall of Famer, all that kind of stuff. That whoever was going to fill in after him, whoever was going to take over the mantle as the captain on this team longer term after him, I think was always going to have a hard time winning over those fans. And so I think that there are some people who have tried to compare the two players. And again, that's also not a fair thing because they're not the same kind of player.
No, maybe. I think another guy who maybe takes a little bit of a beating that doesn't necessarily deserve it is Konechny.
Really?
Online.
It's always the people that were on the team the longest that get
of course
the wrath of the of the team.
Sure. Yeah. Especially if the team has not been good.
Right.
Right, because the fans will equate the failure of the team to those players because they've been here long.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's it. So I think of the current team, I would say it's probably both of those guys, both Konechny and Couturier.
Yeah. I think it's probably fair.
Right?
The Konechny thing, I think, is an interesting conversation more than the Couturier thing because, like, I like Konechny. And when I was down in the locker room with you and we were doing post games, like, Konechny's a good dude.
Yeah.
He is. He's a nice guy, family guy. Like the guy. The production, goal-wise at least, really has dropped off in a pretty considerable way. And you go, all right, well, is it just because there's a sort of change in the expectation? I'd say no. I think where he is going to get a bad rap, although the rising cap is going to kind of help offset it, is that the team kind of doubled down on the idea of making him kind of like, at least contract-wise, really one of the focal pieces and the cornerstone pieces of this team going into that next wave of, trying to rebuild and then become a contender. And if the production isn't what you would expect it to do, if it's an upward trend as he gets into those prime years, that's where you're going to see more criticism. The nice thing for him is that, like, Mishkov had a breakout year last year, took a little bit of pressure off. You had the Forster line, obviously, has taken a lot of pressure off of everybody, including Mishkov when he struggled early in the year. Tippett had that run of goals in a few games where that also took a little bit of pressure off. But depending on how long Forster's out, you start to have some injuries. All eyes are going to shift to Mishkov, and they're going to shift to Konechny, and they're going to be expected to put the puck in the net.
So Konechny has had 4 consecutive years where his point total has gone up. right?
Yep.
I'm not certain that it goes up this year again. I mean, at a certain point you get to, it's like, okay, maybe you've reached your peak, right? But if Konechny puts up another 70-point season, are we complaining?
I think he has to hit. I know that you're going to say this is arbitrary and it doesn't matter. I think he needs to have that 30-goal mark. I think that if it's a 20-50 season, fans are going to go, that's not quite what we thought Konechny was going to be. We thought he was going to be more of a scorer, not a sniper, not like a 40-goal upside guy. But I think there's kind of an expectation there that he should be around a 30-goal scorer. If you expect that of like an Owen Tippett, even of a Tyson Forster going down the line, like I think it's kind of fair to expect him to land somewhere around 30. And yeah, if he ends up with 70 points with 30 goals, yeah, you say good season. Is that commensurate with what?
But 25-45 doesn't do it for you. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm just saying it could be.
I would say no, unless you've seen those goals essentially being taken over by the rising stars on the team, whether that's, again, Forster, Mishkov, Tippett. Like, you're only going to score so many goals. Then I think maybe you feel a little bit better about it. I don't know. It's not, I'm just putting out there, I think, a sentiment. Now, those two guys will always be under scrutiny, and to Bundy's point, they're longer, among the longest tenured on this team. Couturier, up until Brandon Graham came back, was the longest tenured player in the entire city of Philadelphia.
Well, it still is.
Well, there was a little bit of a doesn't the Brandon Graham retirement?
I held that,
and then coming back.
I held that honor for like 5 years.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm unimpressed.
Yeah, no.
I just think that those guys, I think Bundy's right. Those guys, the longer you're here, the more arrows you're going to kind of take.
The longest tenure, I got it too. Believe me, I got it here. Some nights brutal, and it's when you're losing, they go after the one guy that's been there longer than everybody.
Yeah.
And it's a shot at management. It's a shot at the team. And that's what they do it. And they can't do it any other way except take it out of the player on the ice that makes a mistake. Yeah. Braden Coburn got it. He got it brutal here.
Yeah. He didn't deserve it.
No.
He was a fine player.
He was a very good player.
He's a good hockey player.
Yeah.
Very good defenseman. Underrated in my mind.
It's funny, if you go back to some of those guys, like the Coburns of the world, and you look at some of the guys they've had on the blue line the last few years, you would take that guy back in a heartbeat. And the fans who were so critical of those guys back when they played would absolutely take that guy in the lineup. Even now, I mean, there have been some encouraging signs, Bundy. I think that maybe is a good spot to kind of throw to you here, is that York has looked good since returning.
Yep.
York and Sanheim really do seem to have settled in. We're seeing really strong play out of Drysdale. I don't know what's going to ultimately come of Emil Andre and how often he's going to be in the lineup and everything, but there have been some positive signs here, I'd say. On the whole, on a blue line that is still missing arguably their most important or second most important defenseman, Rasmus Ristolainen.
Yeah, they've held their own, and York's played well. I mean, I don't notice him, which is a good thing. Every time I don't notice the defenseman, it's usually a good thing. So, I think the guys have meshed well together. Last night wasn't a great night, to kind of be talking about what went on. Yeah. But in terms of their defense, even their depth defense, they've done a pretty good job defending as well. So you got a little bit of a mixed bag. But I think that this team's held their head way above water, considering they have had Risto out of the lineup too.
Yeah. I want to make a note here before we, I think, get into Bundy's keys of the game. So I've been pretty vocal about the fact that hockey games are expensive to attend. I've been very vocal about it on this show, on the Russ Joy Show, which you can find every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, on pretty much any show that has a microphone. I have bemoaned the fact that hockey is expensive. So tonight's game, so I looked at last night. It was a pretty packed house for the Maple Leafs, which you would expect. Maple Leafs, a very widely known team, widely known name, a lot of star power. And then you have Calgary tonight, where you have two returning guys in Farabee and Frost. I don't know if that really moves the needle for anybody. But I looked. Now, maybe somebody who watches from the organization is going to be mad that I bring up that there's a secondary ticket market. But tickets for tonight's game were going for $19. And so I don't know what the crowd's ultimately going to look like tonight and how it fills in. But tonight, I can at least tell you, there were affordable tickets for tonight. And I happen to notice that there's a big matchup coming up in about a week and a half that I'm shocked at how low some of the ticket prices are. I will simply say this. There have been so many bad teams, Ant, that we have covered since the Hextall days. I mean, like piss poor, bad teams. Teams that have been like held together with like really bad patchwork, putting a Band-Aid on a hole on a dam kind of thing. And people, for whatever reason, were coming out to those games because they believed in. I don't actually know what they were believing in. And the Fletcher years, I don't know if they were believing in it, but they were coming out. This team has not had the benefit of playing to a lot of packed houses. You wrote about this over on Pattison. I think these guys actually deserve to play in front of a pretty damn near packed house. I think they have, to Bundy's point, they've kept their head above water. You're seeing a lot of really positive strides coming from a lot of the younger guys on this team. I'm not like out here on a soapbox, begging people to come buy tickets to see the team. But I think these guys deserve to have better than what they've gotten so far this year. And I don't say that lightly.
No, I agree with you. And look, I'm not.
Hold on. Rick Berkey says 19 with $40 of no.
No, it's not true.
TickPick. They don't sponsor the show, but I was over on TickPick.
The service fees are not true.
There are no fees on that site.
You can do 19. On all those secondary market sites. You can do an all-in price. You can look at what the all-in prices are. And I had a big debate with people. I spent an entire day arguing with people on X because I was surprised at how little fans knew about where to find tickets. They keep looking at the Flyers website, and of course, you see the prices on there are the full price for the ticket. And so you sit there and go, well, that's really expensive for a family of four or whatever. And I agree with you. I get it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell anyone what's expensive to you and me is different than what's expensive to this guy, that guy, whatever.
He's making a lot of money, this guy.
Right. It's totally different.
Sports writers, man.
Yeah. What a career. But there are. I was surprised at how many people didn't know that you can find really affordable tickets.
I don't think those are real people. They have to be bots. I can't imagine that there are humans.
I was arguing with them.
I believe you. I just can't imagine that there are people out there who are like, the only way for you to buy tickets is go to will call. I show up to the stadium. There were
tickets for tonight for $28.
Yeah,
$28. And then there were some fans who were then argued back to say, I don't want to watch it from upstairs. I want to watch it from the lower level. I'm like, well, guess what? That's what you got to pay for.
Yeah.
If you want to pay for it, then that's what you're going to pay. But if you want to get your family in and just take them to the game and experience the game, you can get in for $28 a ticket.
Bring them up here.
Right. Yeah. Like you can. And I'll tell you, I love watching hockey from up high.
It's really cool.
Do you agree, Bundy?
The balcony's wide open.
But I'm saying it's like you
great.
like watching the game from above.
I love it.
As opposed to down low, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see so much of it happening.
Yep.
But yeah,
I tell everybody I know, if you haven't been to hockey before or it's been a long time, you want to get 2 seats in a single season if you can. You want to get as close to the ice as you can to appreciate the size and the speed of the players.
Sure.
Because on TV it looks fast, but when you're actually as close as you can get to the ice, you're kind of amazed by how big these dudes are and how fast they are. And then you come up here and you watch it just to see the flow of the game and guys coming on and off the ice, who's hustling to the bench, who's half-assing it to the bench. You see the plays as they're developing. You almost are able to call out goals right before they happen because you could see
one of the arguments I was making online was, why do you think in almost every arena, it's not every arena, but almost every arena, that the executive box for the team's general manager and scouts and everybody who's watching from upstairs is in the highest level of the building? And not only that, they don't sit center ice, Bundy. They sit in the corners.
Yeah.
Because they want to see the whole play. They want to see the whole ice develop, right? Like, I think it's a big misnomer that hockey is better watched from center ice. I don't think it is. I think it's better watched from one end or the other.
I think if you're a fan experience, though, when you're down there, it's pretty cool.
I'm not trying to take away from the experience because it's different.
Yeah, it's a different look down there. But it's funny. I do watch from up here, but when you go downstairs, the action's so much faster.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so much quicker, and you're like, wow, play develops differently than you see it up here. It actually looks more dangerous the closer you are to the ice.
Correct.
And by the way, if you are one of the people who's like, you know what, no matter what, it's still too expensive to be able to take the family out. When they have open practices down in Voorhees, and you can be at ice level and see these guys, it's absolutely worth taking your kids to go see. It's a very cool thing.
Dan, not true at all.
Yo,
Not true at all.
I wish I got a commission for season tickets.
Seriously, if
That would be awesome.
we have no skin in the game there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
None.
The second somebody from this
If
organization,
we had skin in the game, right?
yeah,
Anthony wouldn't be talking about the secondary market.
Correct. Correct.
Right? So
Yes.
that's your proof right there.
the second somebody from the organization tells me I need to hawk tickets,
Yeah, we're out.
I'm out. These guys can handle it. Intern can sit in this seat. I am getting the bleep out of here.
Yeah.
Though, if the Flyers do want to, let us in on a commission plan, a little kickback for
There you
season.
go. We can
I will
talk.
tell you, it's actually funny. We were doing trick or treating on Friday, and a guy who lives in my neighborhood, I learned that he's a Snow the Goalie listener, watches for Press Row Show, and he was like, you know what? He's like, I got to tell you, he's like, I've never thought about getting season tickets, and he's like, I've been really pissed off with where the team's been the last few years. He's like, this year watching this team, he's like, I'm actually starting to entertain. He's like, the kids are getting to that age. He's like, I'm starting to entertain the idea of doing season tickets this year because I feel like they're at the start of something good.
Yeah,
I was like, that's exactly what you want to see.
I do a lot of events with the season ticket holders, either they're prospective new clients or new people looking for tickets or people that just bought their tickets. And I always tell people, because they got money to spend next summer and the team is getting better. If you want season tickets, get your hands on them now because you may not get them next summer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's very true. I'm totally honest with the fans. Like, I know you see the tickets down tonight, but I'm telling you, there's going to be nights where this building's going to be close to full again.
Yeah.
Yep.
After football season, for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say before we get to our picks, you made me think of this today because you talked about talking to a guy who's a Smell the Goalie fan, right? So Ant Jr. plays in a Sunday softball league. So I went out this morning to watch him in his playoff game, right? They won, which was good. And at one point, one of the coaches had to leave, so they said to me, "Oh, can you go coach first base?" Yeah, whatever. I'll go coach first base. So I'm standing at first base, and the guy from the other team comes over. He goes, "Yo, you're the Snow the Goalie guy." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh man, I love your podcast. You and Bundy are great." And I said, "Oh, so it's just me and Bundy, huh?" And he goes, "No, I was going to tell you." He's like, "I love Russ too. Russ is really hysterical. He makes me laugh because he says the things that I'm always thinking." He's like, "It's always good that you and Bundy are there, though, to bring him back to reality. But he says the things that I'm always thinking." So there you go.
There you go, Russ. There's people just like you.
There's so many.
Full of venom.
You wouldn't believe how many people. We're like scorpions. We multiply. We got a little stinger. Some are bigger stingers than others. Anyway, let's get to Bundy's keys of the game. Bundy, you said you had 3 keys, not 1, not 2, but 3 keys to the game.
Let me pull them up here,
Okay.
guys. You kind of caught me off guard.
I'm sorry.
You want to correct him on that too?
What?
The dude who says that I'm wrong a lot on the picks.
Oh yeah, Anthony's currently leading.
9-2, by the way, in Flyers picks.
9-2.
9-2.
You guys want the keys?
I want the keys.
3 keys to the game. Key number 1, the Flyers forecheck. Calgary has trouble scoring most of the early season to date, and they suffered from ill-timed puck management issues. Opponents can forecheck the Flames into oblivion if they decide they want to do it, both forced and unforced turnovers. The Flyers have an opportunity and must pressure the puck against a potentially skittish opponent in Calgary. That's number 1. Number 2, shooting mentality. Against Toronto, the Flyers fell back into the habit of passing up open shots to seek tic-tac-toe plays that weren't available. Additionally, Philly did not generate nearly enough traffic in front of the net. The same can be said for even strength. Nothing wrong with a shot and traffic to the net. The Flyers need to get back to that tonight. And the last one tonight is a special teams battle. The Flyers have started to come around on the power play after a rough start. Overall, the club is 19.4%. 19th on the man advantage, who has already allowed 3 shorthanded goals. The Flyers' penalty kill has been stout all season and checks in at 90%, which is best for second. Calgary is 12.5% on the power play, 30th in the league, and 76.9% of the penalty kill. Special teams have won games for the Flyers this year. This trend must continue.
I almost feel
By the
like you're like the guy at the end of the commercial who I feel like your speaking and your reading has gotten faster and faster as you go.
Your second key, by the way, I wrote about today on.
Yeah, I saw that. I retweeted that. Yeah.
All right,
Flyers play 2 cute. That's really the biggest key of the game tonight. They need to get back to shooting.
Now, since Anthony has accused intern Andrew of stealing his idea for predictions,
Yeah.
we are going to first go to intern Andrew tonight with his predictions. Don't forget, you drop your prediction in the feed on YouTube or on Twitter. Go ahead.
I'll take Calgary 5-3.
That is a different score.
That's definitely going to be different than me.
think the Flames are going to steal this one.
That's definitely
Wow.
going to be different.
I really hope I'm wrong, but I'm getting that vibe today.
You know, the Flyers are a very small favorite tonight, which is really weird.
It's
Why
probably,
would they?
it's probably Kolosov.
Yeah, it's
I would
really
think that's
off.
probably affecting it a lot. Anthony, what's your very different score?
My very different score is the fact that the Calgary Flames are minus 18 in goal differential this year in only 11 games. Like 13 games. That's really ridiculous that they're a minus 18 in 13
48
games.
seconds.
Flyers win this one 5-2.
Bundy?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Calgary lost yesterday. The Flyers lost yesterday, but this is the Flyers' last game at home of this homestand before they head out on the road for a couple. I don't think they're going to lose to Calgary, who to me is the worst team in the league. Having seen them play just a couple times, I'm going 4-2 Flyers tonight.
I'm going to go 4-3 Flyers tonight. I think Kolosov's going to have an okay game. Calgary's lost 3 in a row, and they're not lighting the lamp a lot. I think that there's maybe a little bit of a little bit of wonkiness to tonight's game in front of Kolosov, but I think they ultimately get it done 4-3.
At Venom Claws. Check out my Twitter. I explain everything there.
All right, so a reminder, you drop your predictions in the comments here. I just sent out the tweet over on the Snow the Goalie account. You can reply there as well. We do a season-long competition. You get 2 points if you get the result right and the perfect score. You get 1 point if you get the result right. Winner at the end of the season with the most points wins a prize. It's been an autographed piece of memorabilia each year. It costs you nothing to participate, so hope you'll participate. We will be back. First intermission, second intermission, and postgame here on the Press Row Show. Talk to each and every one of you very, very soon. Welcome into the first
Welcome into the
intermission.
Potato Cam Live.
Welcome into the Potato Row Show.
That was
the number one rated pregame, intermission, and postgame potato show.
I gave you your flowers for being such a great actor in the pregame.
Up, it's back. Welcome into the Press Row Show, the number one rated pregame, intermission, postgame show. The side of Mississippi, South, the Arctic Circle, north of the equator, west of Greece. Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the potato cam, you have to match the energy to the potato cam.
Yeah.
But now that we're back in beautiful 1080p, we got to have that conversation. You know, we have to bring the energy. What?
No, this is one of the comments. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
The only thing I
Three
think,
shots.
yeah, the only positive from the period was the goalie. Kolosov played really well, I thought. Obviously, he stopped every shot that he faced, but I really liked how he looked in net as well. That's about it. Other than that, it was a terrible first period for the Flyers. It was just a bad first period. Calgary's terrible. I mean, my God.
This is a game.
That looks like a minor league team.
They really do.
This is a game where Bobby Brink and Joel Farabee lead their respective teams in hits. Your Honor, this is not a good hockey game.
Well, hey, but I give Sanheim a little credit. Gave a little punishment there on the end, in the very end, caused a little bit of a scrum. Konechny hit a guy from behind, which he might have made pretend that it was accidental. Maybe it wasn't. There were a couple of those, yeah, but yeah, you got to have more than 3 shots in a period on the freaking Calgary Flames. They give up almost 4 goals a game. Like
yes, Eric
on
Berkey.
average.
The minor league team is out shooting the Flyers 10-3.
That is correct.
The Flyers did not have a good period. This is a straight north-south game you play against these guys. You don't try all the trickery and like the east to west passes. You go north-south on Calgary, you'll run them out of the building.
Yeah.
That's the way you had to play them from the beginning.
Oh, that was a good question. Bring that one back up. Eeny, meeny, you asks, if we could time travel and get one Flyer from the past, which one would make us the most competitive?
A number 1 defenseman.
Eric Desjardins.
Yeah, Desjardins would probably be it. I mean,
Pronger.
Mark Howell, Pronger, like any one of those guys, like any number 1 defenseman. I would probably go with this team. I would probably go Howell because you have more time with him.
Right.
A little bit more time with him because he played a little bit longer than Desjardins did, but Desjardins would be right there, like right there. That's who I would probably go Mark Howell.
Yeah. I agree. Someone just mentioned Lindros. I mean, that would be you talk about generational talent. Yeah, that would always be good to add a Lindros early in his career again.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but I'm saying like
I think the question is more about like a single season if you could have a guy.
I don't know. Single season. I mean, you go with any of the. I mean, Lindros won the Hart Trophy. You want to go with that year? You go back to when Reggie Leach scored 61 goals. Like, you want that year? I mean,
Peter Forsberg.
Forsberg was at the end of his career. So if you're getting Peter Forsberg, the Colorado version,
Yes.
yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But if
it's
you're getting
end of career.
if you're getting
Peter
Forsberg when he was here, I mean, he was good. He was
would
really
Forsberg
good.
be the best player on this team?
He was-
even like late career when Forsberg was here. If that
Fors-
version
I
of him
played
were
with
dropped
that. I played with him, so I can answer that question. Yes, he would be the best player on this team.
by a significant margin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tend to think so.
Yeah. I mean, he was still very good when he was here.
Oh, he had a ton of points, Anthony.
Sure, that line with him, Gagne, and Knuble was really, really good
Yeah.
in 05-06. I mean,
Yeah.
that your last year, those guys were great.
Yep.
So,
Bundy, is he them? Oh, all right, here. Let's play a game. Give me the top 3 most talented forwards you ever played with.
Peter Forsberg, Dale Hawerchuk, and Eric Lindros.
I think the Hawerchuk one might surprise people, Bundy.
If you take away Wayne Gretzky out of the 80s,
He was the next best player.
it was Dale Hawerchuk
Yeah.
after that, yeah.
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 And he was
until Mario came. Yeah.
and he was even still that good when he was here, which
He
was
was
towards the end of his career.
It was near the end of his career.
He wasn't
yeah.
being used as a top line guy.
He completely unlocked our offense in my second year.
Yeah.
When we traded McTavish for him.
Yeah.
And Hawerchuk just opened up the other lines. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a talented hockey player.
Yeah, doesn't get enough credit for as good of a player he was.
I played with Mike Modano in Dallas, another extremely. I'm just talking about my Flyers tenure. Anytime we talk about players, I always allude to it here.
Yeah.
I played with Sergei Zubov,
Right.
who's another freak show.
Yeah.
I was paired with him in Dallas, and he was just that guy would stick handle at the blue line with two guys in his face, and he'd tell me to hang out, waiting for a pass. I'm like, because I'm like thinking I got to go back. This dude's gonna turn it over. He never turned it over.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So Chris Fishy, I think that's his name, right? Can we pop that question up?
Yep.
Is this lack of shots and lack of hits a Taka thing or a collective not good enough to get it done? First of all, I won't say that there's a lack of hits. I think that for the game as it is in the NHL today, I think that they're okay there. They're not like overwhelmingly good or overwhelmingly bad. I think that they're fine. The lack of shots thing, Tocchet has been preaching this, and he's always talked about, Bundy, for the last 4 games, about them not shooting the puck enough, not getting guys to the front of the net for rebounds, and you know, he says it's easy to take shots from the easy area. We're not looking for easy shots. We're looking for the hard ones, right? We got to go into the hard areas of the ice.
If it's a struggle for you to get a shot off and go to the front of the net, that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. That's a tough way to play hockey. And when you've been rewarded with goals sometimes that were tic-tac-toe goals or easy goals, you think you get it, fall into a pattern of thinking it's going to be easy and those goals are going to come by all the time. But it's usually when you do the hard things right that those goals come about. It's not when you try to make those soft, they're smooth, easy plays. They don't work all the time.
Right.
You know, the Flyers are still not that team yet. They still have to play with a north-south mentality, and I don't think they've done a good enough job of that in this game. Calgary is in 4-6. Flyers are playing 4-6. So you have 2 tired hockey teams early in the season, and something's got to give. But the Flyers need to play a straight-line hockey game and not this east to west stuff that's not working right now.
Yeah. I want to answer a couple things here, if you don't mind there, Russell.
Go ahead.
There we go. I got to scroll up. Hold on. Why in the world is Mishkov playing with 4th liner? So just in case you missed it, Tyson Foerster's not in the game tonight, right? So the Flyers had to adjust the lines. You're not going to blow up all 4 lines and change everything completely, right? You're going pretty much with the set lines pretty much since day one. So they moved Tippett off of Mishkov's line and put him on in place of Foerster with Noah Cates. Until Foerster comes back, that's what they're going to do. You don't really have another guy to put on that line because you're not breaking up the Couturier line, right? That's been working. Couturier, Zegers, and Konechny. You got the Noah Cates line. So who are you putting on that line with him, right? So Dvorak's been there. Like, everybody thinks Dvorak is like, oh, he's playing with a 4th line guy. He's been playing with Dvorak all year. I mean, that's really, really it. I know Dvorak's played with Zegers a little bit too, but I mean, you've had Dvorak and Mishkov have been playing together, and it was Tippett, and now Tippett's off. So I think this is a temporary thing. I wouldn't say that this. I know I was fighting with a guy earlier in our chat who was saying that it's hurting Mishkov's development to play with these guys. It's 1 game. It may be 2 games, whatever. It's not hurting his development. Keep in mind also that Matvei Mishkov came into camp not in shape. He's trying to play catch-up, right? So you're not going to play Matvei Mishkov 20 minutes a night. He's going to play 15. Just the way it is right now. It's not hurting him. He's not going to, oh my God, he's not going to be good anymore. Relax.
Greg Mack, by the way, brings up something really important there. Remember last night I asked about the Juju? Well, the Flyers couldn't win last night because the Union did, right, in advance in the playoffs. And once the Maple Leafs beat the Flyers, well, then clearly the Blue Jays couldn't go on to win. You only get so much good sports juju in a single city.
I meant to ask you this, Russ. I know we hedged upon it. Do you love how every Canadian city takes over that one team for their own after,
It seems really sweet. I don't totally get it, though, right? Because
everybody in Vancouver is rooting for the Blue Jays. Really?
I can't imagine that, when the Oilers were in the Cup, is the entire country behind the Oilers?
Yes.
Are Leafs fans?
Everybody got behind Edmonton. Yes. So every Canada just
what
takes.
the hell's wrong with
Canada's
your
team.
What's wrong with your country,
dude? You're telling me I'm American now, and I think that the fact that the Canadians do that, they put that game on the jumbotron in Edmonton last night. How embarrassing would that
For
be
the first
as
two periods.
for a player on Edmonton to have tickets sold to your fans, and they put a baseball game, I don't care what game it was, on the Jumbotron for the fans? That's a clown show.
That would be like the Mets in the World Series.
Putting on a Yankees game.
No, the Mets in the World Series and playing it here.
Oh, yes, exactly.
That's what
That's
would be
exactly right. Yes, exactly.
Could you imagine that?
I was actually jogging my brain here about, like, what would be a somewhat equivalent thing that could happen, right? The only thing I could think is when the Olympics are going on, if the USA, but it comes to national teams, it's like if the U.S. hockey team or something were to be in the final, right? And a Sixers game is going on. Well, it's a national thing. Like, I wouldn't think I would think it's kind of weird sport-wise, but you go, all right, maybe that's it. If the World Cup is going on at a Phillies game, right, and the U.S. somehow makes the World Cup final, but again, it's a national thing. I don't totally get it.
My mother
I
and
sure as
father,
hell was not cheering for the Dodgers last night.
my mom and dad became diehard Blue Jays fans. I don't know how.
When did that happen?
September 15th, probably.
I thought you were going to say when Montreal went away.
No, September 15th with the rest of Canada. Oh, the Blue Jays made the playoffs. We're fans now. We're from Prairie View, Alberta. We've been Jays fans our whole lives. We love them.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's one of the best. Amadeo better clip that one up. That's so good.
There were some interesting memes that I saw, too, where it was like two paths to hell. It's like Canada wins, the Dodgers win. Like, nobody actually wins. I don't know. There's part of I mean, I cheered for the Jays. I really don't like the Dodgers.
It's a great story. I wanted Don Mattingly to win.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted Donnie Baseball to get
you
it.
know what it is?
Vladdy, to me, like, Vladdy played out of his mind.
Here's what it is.
He's a great player.
I mean,
he's
He's a superstar.
Here's what Bundy and I agreed on. And I was actually talking about this with Bush earlier when we were on the elevator. It's not the players or the coaches or anything. Like, you probably were, as people who are here in Philadelphia, you get a little tired of the Dodgers, right? I get it. And as far as those players and those coaches with the Blue Jays, you wanted to see them win.
Yes.
What you didn't want to see win were the fans of Toronto. because they're Fugazi. They're Fugazi fans. And so that's why you kind of relish in their tears.
He starts doing a show with Miss and Ellie again, and now look at it. Pretty soon we're going to be doing our Goodfellas.
You relish in their tears like you relish in Cowboy fan tears in this city.
Yeah.
And Met fan tears. Like, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And with that, let's go out to intern Andrew for his
Trivia time.
Intern Andrew's trivia time, brought to you by intern Andrew. Intern, how are you?
No. Stat.
There he
Stat
goes.
of the night.
Nope, he corrected me. He stays off now. I don't make the rules, actually.
You scared me. I thought maybe I blacked out the first
Johnny
intermission.
P88's dead right.
Yeah.
Choked it in 2 games, no doubt.
You might have actually blacked out there for a bit. Hello.
Maybe.
Stat of the night
How we doing?
from intern Andrew.
Okay, so obviously we've been talking about this streak that Zegers has had for a while. He's now tied with Forsberg and Zettel. So
Zezel.
That's right. I'm sorry. There was a defensive lineman for Penn State. His name was Anthony Zettel. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Did he win a
Just
championship?
let go of it, man. Let
I know.
it go.
No, I'm just telling you where my brain's at right now.
What's the Nittany Lions song?
Fight. I don't. Whatever.
Why don't you ask the alumnus?
If Trevor Zegers gets a point tonight, he will be.
Fight on. Penn State.
Andrew, go ahead, buddy.
Nah.
If Trevor Zegers gets a point tonight, he'll become the first player in league history to score in his first 9 to get a point in his first 9 home games as a Flyer. His next point also will be the 200th of his career, so he would become the 5th in the 2019 draft class to get there. And then for Calgary, tonight is Nazem Kadri's 999th career game. Oh. So Calgary's next game is Wednesday back in Calgary against Columbus. That'll be the game that he joins the 1,000 club.
Okay.
Stick taps for him.
Thank you.
Exciting.
I was all over the place.
So wait a second. So just let me clarify this with you. So if Trevor Zegers gets a point tonight, he'll become the first time in NHL.
No, he's in Flyers history.
Yeah.
in Flyers history,
in,
right?
in his first 9 home games as a Flyer.
Right.
Okay,
He'll
but
be
it's
the
only the
player to do it.
Flyers.
Yes.
He'll break the
He'll
tie
be a
with
Flyers
Squares
record.
Yeah,
Records
I
as
might have accidentally said league.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was like, that's a league thing. That would be fascinating.
Yeah. I'll have to. I'll see if I can find other teams' streaks.
Yeah. No, I'm
but there's
sure.
that.
I'm sure there's others that are longer.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And congrats to Calgary. Almost.
Almost.
Even though Konechny tried to kill him.
Yes.
He was a big part of Colorado winning the Cup that year. He was a major, major difference maker for that team. Scored some huge goals for them.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I thought of a shirt for Kolosov.
Okay.
I mean, I thought of a bunch of shirts. If he plays really well, and if Sam Erson's not back, Cola save.
It's nice.
If he stinks, Cola sieve. But I like Cola save better. Can we make a women's shirt, Sexy Alexi? That could work.
What's your day job?
Who?
You?
Host here for Snow the Goalie.
No. Certainly not in marketing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
1 minute to go here.
Flyers need to get on their horse
They
here.
do.
This is
Hey.
if you're a playoff team and you want to be there at the end, this is the kind of game you need to scoop up the 2 points. There's no excuses. They played too well here at home to squander a game like this tonight. 0-0, 40-minute game. Get after it the right way.
Ask me what they have to do in the first 5 minutes.
What do they have to do in the first 5 minutes, Russ?
Take everything they did in the first period, forget about it.
All right.
Act like it never happened.
Flush it, as the kids like to say.
Flush it.
Flush it. Which we'd like to do for our what we've done in this intermission.
I wouldn't flush this intermission. There were
No,
some good
the
stories
Bundy
out of
story about his parents is
the
an
Bundy,
all-timer.
the Bundy stuff is
How long
great.
have you been a fan?
It's an all-timer.
Diehard Blue Jays fans?
For
For how long?
September 15th, 2025.
That was not the answer I was expecting,
Do
and
you-
it just floored me.
Do you think the people who ordered their Blue Jays merch like a month ago, are they already like putting it up for sale, burning it? Or are they going to put it in a closet for 20 years so the Jays make it back?
No, they'll try to finagle with 2025 and make another number of it and save the T-shirts. World Series champions.
All right, game on, Russell.
Game on. Bye.
All right, bye. We'll be back second intermission. Welcome into the Press Rush Show, the #1 rated pregame intermission postgame show. So we did back-to-back nights for this, huh?
This is torture. Like this is like we did something wrong to be punished the way
What
we're
did
being
we
punished.
do in our lives?
It's too people. I know people don't care to hear it. It's two tired teams. The pace of the play's not there. It's not crisp. There's no tape-to-tape passes. It's a muck and grind. Try to knuckle drag a win out of this building tonight somehow, some way for one of these two teams. But the Flyers are still playing on the perimeter. Like they're trying to still make plays that aren't there instead of shooting the puck.
They've fallen into a very weird kind of cadence here, Bundy. Like we talked about it last night, that it was as if they had been playing entirely counter to everything they had done to this point in the season. Last night, starting with the Toronto game, and then we thought, maybe some of that just has to do with not having Couturier in the lineup. Tonight, I don't know what to put it on. It's almost like they're falling back into really bad, old bad habits. Looking for the perfect shot. They're just not.
What do they have, 9 shots?
9.
Yeah,
They got 9 shots on goal through 2 periods. They had like 5 about 6 minutes ago.
So we were, and in the story that I wrote, this morning on Pattison, I looked at this, and the Flyers came into the game ranked 31st in the NHL in shots per game, and they are averaging, I think it was 24 shots per game, right, which is only ahead of Seattle. And I was pointing out that the pace they were on yesterday, when they had 14 shots after 2 periods, was even worse than their average has been for the year.
Yeah.
Now they're on pace for 15 in the game, not even for 14 and a half in the game. 15 shots.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I sense they're going to end up with more than that, but you got to have a willingness to want to shoot the puck and drive the net.
Yeah.
That's where the goals are. Even the plays they came in, like Konechny came across once, he had like a sideway half breakaway. And he made a nice pass to Zamula,
who got a shot on
goal.
goal.
A great shot. But if I'm TK in the situation, take it to the net yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's the best option. Sometimes being selfish is the right play. And especially when it comes to shooting the puck. But this has not been a good game for either team. It's just that Calgary has the 1-0 lead heading into the third.
Yeah.
Well, and Mike Boots is here, and he's correct. It's a bad night when the mites are more entertaining. I think there have been some louder roars for the mites on ice tonight than for what we've seen during the first 2 periods.
Yes.
Which is deeply concerning in a way, but we'll break it down in a little bit more. But why don't we bring a little bit of levity to the show?
You got levity in the second intermission here?
I do. There is a little bit of levity.
Oh, boy.
And it comes in the form of a man who some say... I got nothing. I was trying to come up with,
Is this for Andrew?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. You know how we usually play him in?
Yeah.
I think, considering how this hockey game's going
snore
tonight,
him in?
I think you should play him in with a sad trombone.
There he is.
Boom, 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 boom.
There he is. Intern Andrew.
Hey, guys.
Hopefully your trivia question's more lively than the hockey game has
We'll
been.
see.
No, you know what? Hold on. He deserves better than that. He does. He's been bringing it all season. He's been bringing some jam in here. He deserves better than to be brought on with a sad trombone. By God, gentlemen, business is about to pick up. That's Kane's music, Hellfire and Brimstone. Play that man's music. Let's do it.
You know what that
Jeez,
was?
I can't
Andrew?
believe I do that every game.
You know what that was, Andrew?
What's that?
You know what that was? That was Russ looking up and realizing we still have to kill 12 minutes on this intermission.
Trust me, I've been in his seat before. I know the feeling.
And so he felt like he could kill another minute with that. that was a veteran move by Russ Joy right there.
Hold on. Yesterday, there was somebody who was like,
You can't teach that.
there was somebody yesterday who was like, can we bring intern Andrew back? He kept it about hockey because I took us to baseball yesterday. And what did we talk about? There was literally nothing to talk about in the one intermission.
Yeah.
And it was like, that is a deft move to move us to something that we could vamp on for a few minutes.
Yes.
All right.
And
Very
now we've essentially just burned another 50 seconds. So good on us.
All right.
Hey, we burned it because it's the Flames. All right, back to you.
All right. Hey guys, let's do some trivia. Woo! Can't wait.
What do you got for us, kid?
All right, so I was. I thought outside the box a little bit on this one, and this the format of this question is going to be a little bit different. I might use it again in the future, depending on how this goes. So you guys let me know if you like it, and in the comments as well. So because of the amount of crossovers in this game, obviously Frost and Farabee, former Flyers, are back, and then with Vladar, even though he's not playing, and Garnet Hathaway being former Flames, I did some digging here. So there's 61 players in the history of the league that have played for both the Flyers and the Flames.
Oh, okay.
Of those 61, I want you to tell me which player had the highest point total in their career. I will note it's just points attained as a Flame and a Flyer combined. So like Yager,
so Yager doesn't count.
Right.
Okay,
I mean, he would count. Technically, he's not the right answer because he got most of his points elsewhere.
So these are so the
They
of
only,
the 61.
They only played for these two teams.
No,
I'm saying they could have played for more, but I'm
but
saying just the points they got in Calgary and Philly combined. Who had the highest
Got it.
total?
So
in
you're
their
only
career.
combining those parts of
Yes.
their career.
So you
the
got-
rest of their.
All right,
doesn't
so you're
matter.
not taking like Yager in Pittsburgh and then do is that what
Correct.
you're
Right.
saying?
So in other words,
Exactly.
Yager doesn't count because he only played 1 year here, 1 year there.
Right. Right.
So it's the points that he's adding up the points they accrued with the Flyers and the points they accrued with the Flames.
In total,
Total
add them together.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a really good trivia.
That's 61 players.
Well, 61 skaters, I should say. There was a few other goalies.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, Vladar.
Right.
I think Bush played for the Flames.
Bush
too,
did as well. Yes.
Did he Bush play there too?
Yes, he
He's
did.
been everywhere. He was a real suitcase, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a.
Mike
Yeah.
McKenna. Remember Mike McKenna?
Mike McKenna was the
biggest
biggest
suitcase.
suitcase. Yeah.
I didn't
That's
realize
a great
Bush
intro.
was as big a suitcase as he was, though.
Yeah, he bounced around a
Yeah.
bit. Wow.
Well, I just saw one on the screen. I'm not going to say it, but I wouldn't have guessed that one, but I'm not going to say it. I'm just trying to think of somebody another Calgary player. Trying to think of someone the Flyers traded to Calgary or somebody the Calgary traded to the Flyers. I know Brad Marsh played for Calgary and the Flyers. It's not Brad Marsh.
No.
Not him.
No, because he was a defensive defenseman.
Didn't McCrimmon play there as well?
Did he play in Calgary too, Brad McCrimmon? Maybe later in his career. No, he played with Detroit, right?
Is Brad McCrimmon anywhere on the list?
He's not the right answer.
How about Bill Clement?
No.
No, huh?
Brad McCrimmon did play for both.
Yeah.
Not him, though.
Joel Otto.
That is correct.
Wow, that's the
was,
answer.
That
Yes.
was in the comments. It's like a lot of people put that one up right away.
Did they really? I don't
Yeah,
see it.
they did.
Where 428 points with the Flames and 80 with the Fire.
Yeah,
He was your teammate for 3 years here.
Yeah, I knew
great
he had.
guy.
I only guessed him because of his time in Calgary.
You know what?
I know he didn't score here.
I kept thinking of trades. He was a free agent signing, and I just missed that one. Yeah, he was a good player, Joel Otto. Yeah, really good center.
Good guy.
He's no Joel
Great
Farabee.
guy.
No Joel
Yeah.
Farabee.
Really one of the really true gentlemen in the game.
Yeah.
When he would do karaoke.
Somebody asked
when
me
he would
about
do
Juleson
karaoke, he was
a couple times.
Billy Joel Otto.
Nicely done, Anthony.
It's a total stat. Total stat.
This is the second
Stats correctly.
couple times I've been asked this question about Juleson. I think Juleson's been fine. Anthony was talking to me about that before the game too. I think he's solid. I mean, he's limited obviously in what he can do, but he defends pretty well. He brings a physical element to his game.
Yeah.
And he moves the puck pretty well.
He's a third line defenseman.
The third set defense.
Yeah, that's what he be. What, isn't there another answer? You asked for two guys, right?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just one guy. It's just Joel Otto.
Yeah.
He's number one overall.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were. I was in my head. I'm thinking you're asking for the top two.
The one I didn't yell out
No,
was
the one.
Damon Lankow.
He was on the list, but he was not the number. He was number one. He was not number one.
Right.
Yeah, Otto combined 428 plus 80 with the Flyers was 509 points. That's the highest.
Oh, wow.
Out of all those guys.
How close is number 2?
I can't remember.
Okay.
You don't have. The
I was doing it manually on my calculator. There was a couple that got into like the 450 range. So like Lankow 288 with the Flames and 127 with the Flyers.
That's close.
That was close.
Okay. Oh, good trivia.
Thank you.
Good trivia.
All right, where do we go from here?
straight to hell.
Just keep, you guys can just keep naming players. I'll tell you if they're on the
I'll
list.
tell you, I've never seen a man go up and sing karaoke quite like Billy Joel Otto,
Yeah.
Billy Joel Farabee. Bundy. I'm gonna
Russ.
try to find a positive here.
Alexei Kolosov has looked okay. He's faced a pretty decent number of shots. The goal was high stick side. I wouldn't say it was a great goal to give up. I also wouldn't say it's a putrid one. It wasn't a soft goal by any stretch. How do you think Kolosov has looked, between yesterday and the third period when he came in relief of Vladar, and then, of course, tonight so far? To me, looks like a better player than last year. But then again, this Calgary team isn't exactly a world beater squad, is it?
They Calgary's actually have not played a terrible game. They're limited in what they have for their players and talent. I think Kolosov's been good. I think he's played pretty solid. I mean, that shot was, I looked at it first. I initially thought, oh, you got to stop that. But it was kind of a weird shot through a semi-screen, and it went up really, really high. So, I mean, I think he's been good. I thought he was good last night, and I think he's been really good again here tonight, giving the Flyers a chance to win this game, at least get a goal to get back in this. And Flyers need one goal against Calgary. You've got to dig in and get one goal. You cannot lose points against teams like this during the year. And when you want to be a playoff team and you think you're going to be there at the end, you cannot lose these 2 points like that. I'm telling you, it's dire.
Guido Valenti says, we overrated our team. Danny needs to continue the rebuild, play the young players. We don't have enough talented players. Too easy to blame a goaltender. It's 100 years. So I say to Guido, hey, let's calm down a little bit. Let's take a little deep breath. We're going to breathe in and a little bit out. Respirare, You got to breathe. It's important. I wouldn't say that we've overrated the team. I don't actually know who we would be in we overrated the team. Most of what I've seen on social media so far this season is how last year's team would have beaten this year's team. So I don't agree with that. Are they a better team right now without Tyson Forster? No. I mean, I think yesterday we saw obviously what happens with Therien out of the lineup. And now today we see what happens when you have to jostle the lineup a little bit because Tyson Forster's out. And that has been by far their best line this year. I mean, Bundy, how much do you put into having to make some personnel changes on the lines as being the main reason that a team looks off?
I don't put a whole lot of stock in that because I look at the individuals on each line, and I mean, if there's no, the Flyers aren't playing the kind of game that you're supposed to play that Rick Tocchet preaches to them to play. And if you're not doing that, it doesn't matter who's in your lineup, whether Tyson Forster's in the lineup or not. They've got to get back to basics of doing the simple things, and they haven't done the simple things. Sometimes when you do little things on the ice, you make yourself look like world beaters.
Yeah,
when they haven't done that.
Yep. I saw there was a thing over here. Gritty123 is asking. That used to be John Tortorella, by the way. Or maybe it's just because of the handle showing up instead of the name. I do believe that was John Tortorella with the American flag behind. So, John, thanks for being here. Asks, is the Forster injury long-term?
They don't know. They don't know if it's a long-term injury yet because it's too swollen to get good imaging. So for now, he's just going to miss a few games, and they're probably going to need about 3 to 4 days for that swelling to go down and then go back in and take a good look at it. But it's impossible to tell if there's any damage in there from the shot because of the swelling at the moment.
Everyone, let's hear for Hollywood.
This is kind of brutal, though. Tonight's been rough. Would you guys jostle the lines further to try to get Mishkov in like a more advantageous setting?
Yes, I would this period. I would try to shake things up. I would definitely find my 9 best forwards, and I would use my 9 best forwards. I would shorten the bench significantly this period. You need the points.
This is a winnable game.
It's absolutely a winnable game, and that's why I sound as dire as I do, because you can't lose points against teams like this. You just can't at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. That they'll go. I mean, he's done this before, right? When he feels that he needs to just go with 9 guys.
Yes.
Like so Toc, we've already seen Toc do that this year a couple times. I think he's probably going to do it here. So you're going to see that 4th line sit, and the other 3 lines are going to roll. Again, I don't think he's going to change I don't think he's going to change the lines much. The only thing I can conceivably see is maybe Gurbenkin gets a few shifts and not Apples.
Apples has actually played pretty well tonight.
I think he's been okay. I mean, he doesn't generate offense, but You're trying to generate some offense. That's the only thing I can think of. But I do think he'll go 3 lines.
So I don't want to put way too much on this game, but you have to remember that each and every game gives you the same opportunity at 2 points, and the 2 points that you earn right now are worth just as much as the 2 points that you earn in the next to last game if you're fighting for that final playoff spot. This is one of those games, and Bundy, you've said it a few times, if you're trying to be a playoff team, and this team, make no mistake about it, believes that they could be a bottom-end playoff team, you can't lose this game.
No, you can't.
And certainly you can't lose it in regulation. This is one of those games where if it's the difference of 2-3 points at the end of the year between you being a team that gets in and a team that ends up in that awful hockey purgatory spot, you don't want to look back and say, what the hell happened on November 2nd, 2025, where we lost to Calgary in regulation? You don't want this to be the game that ultimately costs you that chance to get in.
Yeah, I don't even. You need to find a way to win this game.
Agreed.
You absolutely need to find a way to win this game. I don't care how you score. I don't care if you win it in overtime. It's okay to go ahead, give Calgary the point for the overtime, for getting to overtime.
It'll be one of the very few they earned this year.
Yeah, but that's fine. But because you don't care about giving away the point to the Western Conference team, you don't want to lose it. But Flyers, I'll take the win tonight any way it comes.
Just to wrap up intern Andrew's trivia question, Bundy, I just thought it would be fun to look at the top 5 guys who played in Calgary and the Flyers.
Yep.
Damon Langkow was number 2. Number 3, Bill Clement.
Yep.
Number 4, Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, yeah.
And number 5 was Paul Ranheim.
Paul Ranheim, who I played with too, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Did you like that format? Do you want to use it in the future?
I liked it. That was a good one.
It'll probably be Western Conference teams when the Flyers have less history with them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I like that.
All right, well, we somehow pulled a second intermission show firmly out of our keister, and now it's time for us to go lock into this third period. We'll be back post-game. Let's hope that the third period is better than the first 2 combined. We'll talk to all of you post-game, maybe even after an overtime and or a shootout here on the Press Row Show. If the gods be good, we'll get a shootout out of this game.
Welcome into the Press Row Show, the number one rated pregame, intermission, postgame show. Flyers lose tonight 2-1. 2-1. Bundy, this was not a particularly good game. And then with about 7 minutes left in the third period, the Flyers seemed to wake up at some point. Maybe the espresso hit late. And I think within 2 minutes of them playing hard, they scored. I should say playing hard, but within 2 minutes of them playing with some like actual jam, they score a goal. Bon Jovi plays in the arena. Travis Konechny scores within like 5 seconds. And then they close out regulation with a lot of opportunities. Maybe that last minute or so, they really couldn't get anything set up in the offensive zone. But man, what a disappointing result. 2-1, the final score tonight.
Yeah, it was not the kind of game that I thought was going to happen. I thought the Flyers were going to come out tonight and really turn it on again after a loss last night to Toronto. And you never want to lose 2 in a row, and you don't want to lose to teams like Calgary. I mean, you couldn't even get a point here tonight, which is a real disappointment. I didn't like the process at all tonight until after they scored the goal, which was a little too late. I mean, they had another chance to get one, but still, you don't want to turn things on when there's 5.5 minutes left in the third period and then assume that you're just going to tie the game back up. So very disappointing loss. And again, I just didn't like the way the Flyers played this game tonight.
It just like tonight, I think last night, the word of the night was like disjointed. And I don't know if I'd go that far tonight, but it just felt like they never really got anything meaningful set up at all. You know, it just... We talked earlier in the game about, how the injury to Tyson Forster was going to potentially lead to them having to kind of mix up the lines a little bit. And you worry, obviously, about probably their best line to this point, the Forster and Brink and Cates line, not being whole tonight, that was going to cause problems. And it did. And it kind of reared its ugly head. Mishkov did eventually get into, I think, better positions in that third period. We talked about that. In the second intermission, based on who he had been playing with through the first 40 minutes of the game, you kind of figured he was going to play with some guys that maybe mesh a little bit better, give him a better chance to put his skills to the use. What did you see out of Mishkov there in the third?
Not a whole lot. Not. I mean, really, I didn't. If he was turning it on, I'd tell you, but he wasn't. I didn't see a whole lot there tonight. He wasn't moving his feet like I'd seen him move the last few games. He was getting progressively better every game. But he didn't move his feet. I didn't love his game last night either. He's got to skate. He's got to make quicker plays with the puck, and decide that he wants to be a shooter. Does anyone know how many shots Mishkov had tonight? Find out.
I can find it for you.
I can probably pull it up real quick. Hold on.
I'll get it.
We'll keep talking while they are. But I mean, yeah. Again, Flyers with just 18 shots on goal against this Calgary team. I mean, they don't have a great world-beating defense.
He had one shot on goal.
One shot, yeah.
Mishkov had one. Sealer had 2. It was a 3 or 4 way tie for the lead. No, I'm sorry. Konechny had 3 shots on goal, 2 for Brink, 2 for Zamula, 2 for Sealer, and 2 for Zegras. Intern, what's up?
Sanheim had 2. Sealer had 1.
Oh, on this it says 3 for. Okay.
All right. Well, whatever.
I'm on
Just looking for Mishkov. Well, ESPN's probably wrong.
Usually is when it comes to hockey.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Not that anybody with YouTube TV would know.
Oh, yeah, I'm one of those guys.
I went to
turn on the ESPN this morning. I had no ESPN. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? This is ridiculous.
I have even worse news than Bundy not having access to ESPN.
What's that?
Intern Andrew's the only one who picked the Flames tonight.
He did tie me.
He did, yeah.
And
I don't know.
Standings.
The only thing was wrong with this score. There's no way there was going to be 8 goals in this game.
That means that Intern Andrew is now riding a 4-game winning streak. It snaps a 3-game winning streak for Anthony. And as of right now, the top of the table reads Anthony SanFilippo, Intern Andrew tied with 10 points, Bundy with 7, me with 6. Now, Bundy, if the season were to end today, I want to get your feeling on this. Who would win the tiebreaker? So Andrew
he has a better record than me.
Andrew has technically picked more games correct. Anthony's the only one with a perfect score so far.
Yeah, he would win a tiebreaker.
We lean by by most wins.
He's 9 and 3,
results.
and I'm sorry, I'm 9 and 3. He's 10 and 2.
Yeah,
so he would get the he would get the
Okay.
tiebreaker.
Wow. All right.
I'm fair.
He's fair.
I'm fair. I don't try and weasel something my way.
Wow, weaseling. That just seems
That's typical you.
seems
That's what I'm
hurtful.
saying.
Hurtful is what that sounds like. Wow. Okay. I want to go over to the comments here. John Tortorella is back in the comments. Asks, "Is there any way the Flyers consider bringing Torts back?" I don't think you have a job there, fella. I'm sorry. I don't think it's going to happen now. Let's see. Ryan Cummings asks over on YouTube, "Bundy, is it me or does Mishkov look like whenever he gets the puck, he doesn't move his feet at all? Like 0 strides when he possesses the puck, especially in the neutral zone on entries."
His biggest issue for me is that he doesn't move his feet enough. That would be the biggest thing. Now, I call him a small space operator. Like when he gets in those tight spaces, he really can make some magic happen sometimes, but he's got to get to that space and he's got to move his feet to do so. Not often. I haven't seen in the last few games a lot of rush chances involving Mishkov, where there's like he's flying down the wing, taking a shot, and then driving to the net. I just don't see that. You really felt the loss of Forster tonight, though.
You did.
It really jangled up the lines a lot and caused a little bit of chaos for the Flyers, I think. But they shouldn't be bothered by that. I mean, it might be, again, I don't know if with Forster, maybe it's a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, but he felt like they missed him out there on the ice tonight, just from a stability standpoint.
Here's the bad news for the Flyers. If you want to go to bad news, and I will, I guess. So the Flyers have now played. What is it? Is it exactly a quarter of their games now, Anthony? At home, a quarter of their home games have now been played for the entire season through this weekend. I think it's a quarter, right?
Well, they've played what? They've played 3 road games and 10 home and
I think it's 9.
9 home games.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're close.
9 out of 41.
Yeah. So that's almost. You're almost at a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've played okay. They've certainly had better games at home.
Part of the
Go ahead,
problem, though, Russ, no, again, but when you look at Calgary, right, they've given up 25 goals in their last 5 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's inexcusable to come out and play like that against this team. And they got smashed by Nashville yesterday. Calgary did.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game where I'm telling you, as a coach, if I'm coaching, you're playing a north-south hockey game against this team. You get pucks in deep, you work the forecheck, and when there's a rush chance, you shoot the puck and get guys to the front of the net. There wasn't any of that until a little bit later on in the game.
And presumably that's exactly what Talk was telling these guys in the locker room. So is this going to be one of those games that he's just like ready to smack his own head against the wall? Like it clearly, the message didn't get through to these guys.
Well, it hasn't the last couple of games. And I give Toronto credit last night. Toronto was ready to play last night. Chief had those guys ready to go after they hadn't won on the road. They're coming off a terrible loss at Columbus, and they were ready to go last night. But tonight, inexcusable for me. There's no way you need to get 2 points against Calgary. Everybody else does.
Yeah. Pretty damn brutal.
Yeah, real disappointing game. Yeah.
And now, you go out on the road for 2. They'll be in Montreal on Tuesday, Nashville on Thursday. They return home to Xfinity Mobile Arena next Saturday. Then they're home against the Oilers on a Wednesday. And they're back on the road for 2 more. So the home cooking they've had here a good bit of the way early in the season, although it was largely against what we considered to be murderer's row when we looked back at the schedule. Tonight's the game you needed to get 2. At the very least, you needed to force overtime and get 1. To get nothing out of this is like one of those, like I think I said during second intermission, if you are going to try to be a playoff team, which is their goal, and you miss a spot by a point or 2 at the end of the year, you're absolutely going to look back on this one and say, what happened?
Yeah, and again, I worry because if the Flyers, if they can get to the playoff positioning and they're in a race, that's a precious 2 points.
Yeah.
Precious 2 points.
Yeah,
especially the way the league is. I mean, look at how the standings are. Everybody's knotted up together.
There's not a team in the Eastern Conference below 500 in points percentage.
Wow.
Not one.
And that's why when you get to the end of the year, you'll have a Jets team, Carolina, Canadiens. Those are your last 3 games of the season, right? And say you're one of those bubble-ish teams. Winnipeg will be a tough game, assuming everything.
They're all going to be tough.
Assuming that everything goes the way that you expect. Winnipeg's going to be tough. Carolina's going to be tough.
Montreal's going to be battling for position, and then you're going to, again, you look back at this counts the same as those
It sure
games.
does. And so here's the one thing I want to say. Like, I don't want to dwell too much on saying like a game like this can cost you the season. It certainly can. I mean, ultimately you can pick any number of losses and say, well, that game you should have won. But at the same time, I can also say there's a game that you might win that you probably didn't deserve to win and you won it, right? So you can kind of goes the other way as well. You got to take the whole thing collectively. Right now, these last 2 games have not been good games for the Flyers. Just not. They did not play well yesterday, and they did not play well tonight. And if you really go back to the last game that they won against Nashville, 2 periods, they were terrible. Really up until that third goal in the third period by Jamie Drysdale of that game, they really were not very good in that game either. So this is now kind of an extended thing. And so maybe when you have a bad game, like as bad a game as tonight was, and again, they played a lot. They've been playing a lot of hockey, right? We know this, 4 and 6, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's a game like this that you kind of wakes you up out of it and you go, all right, we got to get back on the horse now. We drifted too far away from what we were doing well when things were going good over the first 10 games of the season.
Yeah.
Sound right?
Yeah, I want to go to this real quick from Donald Fletcher. Says, we are right back where we were 5 years ago, right in the middle. I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know why this year I feel so much different. I spent a lot of those years bemoaning the decisions that were made by front offices past.
See you, Timmy.
And this is like the first time that I feel like you have enough youth on the team. And up until a couple games ago, it felt like enough of those guys were heading in the right direction that I would have said, well, yeah, you might be in the middle. You might be currently on a trajectory to that bubble playoff spot, hockey purgatory. The difference is you have a whole bunch of young dudes on this team that look like they are taking that next step. And that's part of the development process. And that's part of what gets you from being a rebuilding team to a potential playoff team to hopefully becoming a playoff contender to then obviously hopefully becoming a Stanley Cup contender. Like, that is a step of the progression. They weren't going to go from a full-on rebuild to then being a middle of the Eastern Conference playoff team. Like, did somebody think that was going to happen? Is there anybody who's articulated that vision? Because I might have missed it if so. So I think it's okay for them to end up points-wise around where they've been the last few years, because I look at it and I say, like, you don't have a bunch of end-of-their-career dudes who are brought in here to be like patchwork to keep a GM safe in his job for another year. Am I crazy? Ant, am I nuts?
I don't know. I didn't hear you.
I mean, I don't think you're nuts with what you just said. I mean, is that an overall evaluation of you? Am I making, or am I just making off the comments?
Think people are being kind of ridiculous.
I always think people are being ridiculous.
No, the last few years, I think that people were totally fine.
No,
I do.
No, fans are always, the hardcore fans are always ridiculous. They are. And that's okay. You can be ridiculous. That's what your job is as a fan, to be ridiculous. To be ridiculous when team's going good and you're super confident, and it's ridiculous to be when the team's going bad, to be super negative. But that's what a fan's responsibility is. It's okay. It's all right.
Scotty here says a lot of negatives after 2 losses, still a winning record.
Well, it is. It's 500.
Even so, if we had said at the beginning of the year they were going to be 6-5-1 after the teams they were going to start the season against, I think we all would have said, yo, not bad. Right?
Yeah, this weekend stunk because they were 6-3, 6-3-1.
Yep.
And now they're 6-5-1.
Yeah,
and you got to go on the road now. That's why if you get one of these 2 wins, it changes the look of the standings.
Let's just say this. 48 hours ago, the Flyers had their best October in 18 years. 48 hours ago, they had their best October in 18 years. They had 2 bad games. It's not the end of the world. It's not a reason to completely overreact.
I agree.
It wasn't good.
It was a disappointing loss for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't good. There's a lot that has to be fixed, but it's not something to go bonkers about.
Here's how I'd put it. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
This team, if healthy, is the team that we saw have that really strong October. This team does not have the benefit of being able to lose an important contributor on the team. Yesterday, it was Couturier. Today, it's Forster. They don't have the ability or the depth right now to be able to kind of patchwork that for an extended period. Obviously, you have to hope that the Forster thing.
Yeah, the Flyers
do
lack depth, and that's what we said all along. That if they go through a spate of injuries, they don't have the guys to come in and make up the difference, and that's certainly a problem. The thing that's driving me nuts in the chat right now is the whole it's been 50 years, you can't win cups. I hate trophy culture with a passion. I hate it with a passion. You can never enjoy a sport if all you believe is you have to win or else you fail or else you suck. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Just don't watch the sport then. That's what I say. Don't watch the sport.
I don't know what that means, though. What do you mean?
Trophy call, like people consider it a failure if you're not winning a championship, like a major failure. It's you suck, blow it up, everything's terrible. It's always the worst thing.
I think people are just like, I think with this team in this city, people are just looking for an extended period of not mediocrity.
The whole 50-year thing. It's like, I understand that they haven't won in 50 years, right? But what has the current group done to make you think that they are trying to gaslight you to believe that they're trying to win the whole thing right now?
That's the one thing. That's why I'm saying
they've not. They've been brutally honest with you. This is exactly what people. So let's go back 3 years, everyone. Let's go back with me 3 years. Okay, when the changes were made, when Chuck Fletcher was fired and Briere was brought in, and then Jonesy comes in and Dan Hilferty comes in, and those guys come in, right? What did everybody want them to do? What did everybody want them to do 3 years ago?
Tear it down.
Tear it down, rebuild, right, and do it the right way. So that's what they did, and they told you they were going to do that.
Like tear it down.
But enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that they told you they were going to do it. So they did what you asked for. And now they're in the process of doing it, and everybody's upset about it.
And by the way, even if they hadn't done, so actually unpack that a little bit differently. Go slightly off in the multiverse. If they hadn't torn it down, I mean, I would say tearing it down would have been like trading the Konechny's of the world, which they didn't do. But if they hadn't,
because you can't trade everybody.
But if they hadn't moved like Provorov, right? If they hadn't moved Hayes, if they hadn't moved those guys, for the people who are like, well, I didn't want them to tear it down. I wanted them to, make tweaks and try to. That team wouldn't have won either. That team probably would have ended up around like where this is right now, but with a lot of older guys holding spots that you would have wanted to see like guys eventually develop into. You know what I mean? Like if Hayes were still here, like if he hadn't made that kind of a move,
right,
he would be taking a spot of a guy that you would ultimately want to like see take his spot because he had a certain ceiling. That's why I think it's frustrating right now. It's back-to-back losses, and the chat has gone from a few days ago where it was like, you know what? Like, it might not be perfect, but they're winning, and like it seems like things are heading in the right direction. Love that line. And now after 2 games, it's like, this sucks. I hate hockey.
Can you pull up the comment about somebody said I might not hate it if I had to buy a 200 ticket? No, but I know I can. But I know Andrew. I don't like to interfere with Andrew. You might not hate it if you actually had to buy a $200 ticket. Do you have to buy a $200 ticket? You choose to buy a $200 ticket. I mean, let's be honest. You could sit at home and watch it and enjoy it on your television for free. Well, for your cable bill, whatever your cable bill is, right? So you don't have to buy the $200 ticket. You choose to. And I applaud you for doing that. I applaud you for buying a ticket and coming down and cheering your team on. But don't make it seem like that just because you buy a ticket that you have some different kind of right to be more frustrated with them losing 2 games in a weekend in early November just because you spend them. It's like that doesn't equate. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't equate. The team is what they are. The team is exactly what they've said they're going to be. And someone else had asked, and I missed it. It was a comment a little bit ago. I won't ask you to find it. Andrew would have to scroll far enough back. They're saying, well, what are they trying to do this year? The team, Rick Tocchet and his coaches and their players in that locker room, every last one of them are trying to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Every last one of them. There's no tanking or anything like that. Those players are trying to win every game and as best they can, and they're trying to make the playoffs. The management would love for them to take that next step and make the playoffs because they do believe that there is value in making a postseason and learning what it's like to play those games. Because Bundy, it's a lot different, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the experience. Like you remember the first time you went.
Yeah.
Like it was eye-opening, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's what they're looking for. They want that eye-opening experience for these teams. They don't sit here and have illusions of making the playoffs and then going on some crazy run to the Stanley Cup. Like that is not what is in their I mean, the players might get to the playoffs and say, "Yeah, we could do it. Great, that's fine." You want to have that kind of us against the world mentality. Totally fine. But management's not thinking that. But would they prefer that they get into the playoffs and have a shot? Yes. So if you're asking what is their goal is to get there.
Yeah.
Their goal is to make the playoffs this year. And if they don't, they'll be disappointed, but they also won't look at it as, oh, well, we did something wrong and we have to start over again. No, it's just part of the process of how they're building the team. Was that a good enough answer for what you asked, Russ?
It was a great answer.
Thank you.
It was.
I wasn't listening. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Bundy, what do the Flyers have to do on Tuesday in the first 5 minutes against Montreal to give themselves a better chance?
Let's talk about it Wednesday
You know what? Well, how are we going to talk about Tuesday on Wednesday?
because we have a show, right?
Yeah, but that's the day after they played.
Yeah, so
Montreal.
we'll be wrapping that one up too on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we'll be wrapping up the two. And look, let's say what's the chat going to be like if they go in? And I'm not predicting this because I'm not right now. But what if they go into Montreal, who's a pretty good team so far this season?
Yeah, they played well.
Played well.
And
Okay.
Cam York flattens Cole Caulfield.
But what if they
Steps
go
over him like Allen
no,
Iverson?
they go
and
into
says,
Montreal.
They wanted you over
Let's
me.
say they go into Montreal and they win that game, play a really, really good game and win the game.
Mhm.
What's everybody saying on Tuesday night, Wednesday?
Darth Vladar refound his form.
Are they having a melt? Are they saying still it's that doesn't count, or are they going to be much happier then?
Well,
Getting Lord Stanley.
Well, the chat. If we were to do a post-game show after that one, if Montreal wins, I guarantee you, 60% of the comments would be, "They chose to take Cam York over Caulfield." That's what that's
Yeah,
what
for
the
sure.
chat. So it's actually good that it's an away game because if they lose a third straight, now, do we think that they're going to go back to Vladar on Tuesday? I would assume so.
Yes,
But
100%.
do
No
you think-
doubt.
Yeah.
Vladar will play Tuesday. I think you'll see Kolosov maybe get one, but depending on what Ersson's timeline is, I think Kolosov will get one more start at some point, but it won't be Tuesday. It might be Thursday, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to play Vladar next Saturday at home. I do.
Okay.
So I think you might see a Thursday start for Kolosov.
Eeny, meeny, you, says Demidov is insane. That'll forever be that's the kick to the gonads. That was the Torts playoff run. And then they sent Celine Dion out to make the pick. Broke my heart. All right. Time to go. Intern Andrew, thank you for the hard work tonight.
You got it.
Good
Bundy,
job, Andrew.
Bundy, thank
Yeah.
you for the hard work tonight.
Thank you.
Anthony, thank you for the hard work tonight.
As
Commenters,
always.
thank you for your support. Do us a favor. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe on YouTube. We have the podcast, which we also do, the radio show, Snow the Goalie Radio, every Wednesday. This Wednesday, we will be at Chickies and Pete's in Glassboro, New Jersey.
Right on the campus of Rowan University.
6 o'clock. Is it?
Yes, we said that earlier. You missed that.
I didn't pay attention. So 6
What-
o'clock
What else is new?
in Glassboro. It's going to be a blast. Make sure you go out of your way. Set some time aside. 6 o'clock. Maybe we'll get there a little bit early. Maybe we'll stay a bit late. Who knows? Who's to say? But set the time aside. We'll have a lot of fun talking some puck over on the radio and in person at Chickies and Pete's in Glassboro. You can go find the podcast over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Until Wednesday, this has been the Press Row Show, the #1 rated pregame, intermission, and postgame show. We'll talk to all of you Wednesday on Snow the Goalie Radio. Have a great night, everybody. Talk to you soon.